We're at another 60 stall rotary, this time a bit of a different location than down at either in Scotland or in Northern Ireland with us. So George is a dealer in Devon and Cornwall for Boumatic, and this is his first Indy. So George is going to be looking after this one. George is here. So George, introduce your company and what you guys do.
Yeah, so my name's George. We run MilkFlo dairy systems. We're based down in Cornwall and cover all of Cornwall and Devon. Similar stuff to what Gary does with a few different tweaks here and there. We've been a Boumatic dealer for a long time. And first Indy parlour going in Holsworthy, just outside of Holsworthy in Devon. Some more projects coming in the future, and we're excited to get this one going.
Yeah. So the rotary itself is, I said, 60 stall. It has feeding on it. It looks very similar to what we would be normally doing as far as full automation. It has smart dairy, it has auto ID, it has feed to yield, it has heat detection collars, it has backing gates, and it isn't finished yet, so it's probably a good thing for everyone to have a bit of a look around, and we'll walk you through it. So we'll come through into the collecting area. So collecting yard obviously is about 35, 40 feet wide.
It's about 10.5 metres wide, I think.
10.5 metres wide. So backing gate, George, tell us a bit about the backing gate.
This is a high-point backing gate. It's a medium duty, but good quality made gate. Obviously it comes up behind the cows. Goes back over the group, back down, and this one is actually got a straight on as well. As you see, we can operate it from the gate. And there's controls obviously up by the operator as well. So when the guy pushes the cows in, he can come up, lower the gate, and then set it going in auto advance or so many feet per minute, whatever you want to set it up to. It's electric drive, as opposed to hydraulic or air. So different options you can have.
Does it run on chain, or is it just on the normal, just like the wheels, are they just in the track, or does it?
So the wheels are in the track, but it's just on electric drive, motor and gearbox at the front.
Okay.
It's one on each side.
Yeah, no, it looks well made, I have to say, with it, and it gives you good adjustment with the rope or the ratchet straps for coming down in behind it for scraping the collecting yard as well. So cows will obviously come up here. They're going to funnel in. What they've done is the stock board on the gates, so it's going to funnel the cows in. And again, it's not finished yet, but you can see here they're doing a bit of concreting. So cows will funnel in and then walk onto the rotary. And again, we'll have the slightly wider entrance at the front with the safety gates and everything on it. So this will all be stock board and sheeted off from both sides. And then, obviously we'll have the exit area then. So traditional, a wider exit than what normal manufacturers have to get the cows more room to get off. You have this wall here in order to stop the cows whenever they're backing off that they can't see over the other side. And then this is the exit area. So the exit area has got obviously this walkway down the side. That's actually new, George. I never actually seen that bit, so that's obviously been added in. Has it, the walkway down in between?
Yeah, you mean with the drain?
Yeah, no, the actual walkway down here.
Oh yeah, so we've offset the race so we can get down both sides of the race.
Yes.
And do what we've got to do, and just keeps it. Obviously we can put some of the services, the electric, the water come out the wall, just everything out the way.
And with the down the centre, then was there or going down this way? What have you got down this area? You've got foot baths.
Yeah. So coming down here, then we've got a twin sort gate. So we got pen 1 and pen 2, both off to the left. And then carry on further down, and we've got the foot bath, the hoof count, automatic foot bath. And then when the cows leave the foot bath, it then widens out to 10-foot, 12-foot race, so then they can just carry on back down to the house.
And these are going to be like straw beds?
Yes, so here's like a hospital group, some calving pens, straw beds, and a separate feed package for those cows over there.
Yes. Yeah, as I said, we're still not finished yet, but it'll give you the idea of it. Okay, we'll head back up to the rotary then. You can see there, so everyone's been, so the shed builder is Greg from
CNR construction.
CNR Construction. So done a great job. They all building all galvanized to have the see-through roof or heat guard. It's not heat guard as in that brand, but I think it's Brent Martin. I think is the manufacturer. And then obviously the night they painted everything blue with it. So we're sort of going around. In this room is going to be, it's at a staff room.
No, this is going to be the vet AI room. So yeah, AI straws in the vet room, because it's on the same level as the exit.
Yep.
Yep.
Then as we come through here, this is the exit, so we're sort of going a bit backwards with it.
So this deck's going clockwise. So this is the cow offside. We're putting in the future cow udder mister, which is the a automated teat one. So it's got a system on where it knows if the cow's in a stall or not, and if there's no cow in a stall, no cluster on the cow, it'll go in and spray.
Yes.
Yeah, American made. Hopefully, it's the first one we've done, so hopefully it'll be a good job.
Yep. With the BLN, everything's done in silicon. The jetters obviously fold up out of the way as we would normally do it. I said we've got top rails. We've actually extended the top rails slightly for bigger cows that are coming around with this stack, and then obviously no arms to get in the way of things. We'll go just down when we're in this way. We'll go down into the tunnel and in the inside. So Boumatic Airstar, a 400 DSL vacuum or vacuum on demand as far as the Airstar, and then you have your air compressor for running the whole rotary. So again, everything on the rotary is compressed air rather than vacuum, so you have no control valves, and we'll see that. You'll see obviously the size of the lines is normal, coming in much bigger than what competitors would do it. So a 6-inch line.
We're all about stable vacuum. So yeah, one thing people notice when they come in is how big the vacuum line is. And yeah, obviously we're looking for stable vacuum, and that's still really good.
Yep, so in 6-inch goes through the gland in 6-inch, and then out in 4-inch to your ring then for your pulsation. And then the other side we have the receiver vessel. So yeah, this should look similar. Again, one of the things with doing the DAX, and George has lots of experience in this as well, is that with us doing the panels, so you get the 4 panels on the post. This one hasn't got retention, so the 4 panels on the post, and they're all come pre-made, pre-wired, all the glands put in, so it doesn't matter if the rotary is in Devon and Cornwall or in Scotland, we know where everything is. So George, you want to talk us a bit through the Boumatic stuff?
Yeah. So it's the standard Boumatic smart meter with the meter in the same material for a while. Beauty of the Boumatic system is it's really easy to service. It's made with airflow in mind, so we're looking for stable vacuum. So it's sort of unrivaled as far as airflow goes, and it's so easy to service. Believe it or not, you can service all this without any tools, just with your hands, and the same with a pulsator. In America, they milk 24/7, as most people know, and you can take that pulsator off, take it down, service it, put it back together in no time at all. Again, with just your fingers, and changing the bits and bobs inside. So it's really easy. You guys paying us guys a lot of money per hour to come now and do service work. So the more we can get done in an hour, the better it is for everyone, really. Less downtime.
And then on the inside, obviously we can walk in between the milk lines and the wall, and then obviously we have the nylon rollers, as far as 2 rollers per point. So with the rotary 60 stall, there's 120 rollers, a double I-beam, and then the dry plate then up here. So it's a 10 mil plate as far as, and then you've got your checkered either side of it. And again, because of the redundancy built in, we have 4 drives on a 60 stall with the airbag system. So that's common with what we do. We can actually just go through here. So with the drives, then we have the 2 gearboxes. There's 2 pedestals, 4 gearboxes, and then you have the airbag for blowing up and tightening the wheels on as you go to start. So as we go to start, it blows the wheels up, or blows the airbag up harder, tightens the wheels onto the drive, and then when we get going, then we release the pressure. So it reduces the pressure here, and then it means that you're not wearing your wheels out as fast, and you're also taking all the stress out of the gearbox. So the way I always try to explain it to customers is, think about whenever you're starting your tractor, you have big wide tires on it, you got a lot more traction, and then you don't need as much pressure on them to keep going through the field. So like an instance like spreading slurry with an umbilical system, big wide tires, low pressure. Feeder then feed yield, single feed going into it, a twin augers for getting the speed out of it so we can run faster. We can put on a second feed if we need to, or if the customer wants to.
Even liquid feed now, I believe.
Yeah, liquid feed's another popular one. We're doing that one in Northern Ireland with liquid feed as well. 60 sol, big receiver, 225 litre, 3 horsepower milk pump, and a 2-inch line out. So again, with what George had said about easy to service, but the other thing you'll notice is there's not a lot of clutter here. You have one pulsator, you have one milk meter, and then the rest of it, there's an interface box, and then your 2 compressed air valves. So you don't have to service anything with them, where if you had control valves.
We've got all the nipples for the milk line, all the entries are welded in the factory, so there's no extra gaskets and seals, drilling on site. It's all done, and the same goes for the wash line. So it's just one less dirt trap, one less thing to service.
Yeah. Then we'll go back up and show up in the. We'll go up and show in the milk and washrooms, because there's a bit different there as well, as far as how it's done, because the contract that the customer's on, they have to have a buffer tank or a way to, collection any time, day or night, if they're milking or not milking. So they've done the silo for the main bit, and then a bulk tank for the other, but we'll go there. As I said, one of the other things we were even talking about earlier is just attention to detail. This nice window right along here, so lets in lots of light for the rotary. Whenever you're walking through, it's quite wide here as well. I know that it's been a while since I've been here. Even the roller door, it's an insulated roller door with panels in the front of it. And everyone's painted blue, which is lovely. What you went first, George? So we'll go into the milk washrooms. So George talks through this bit.
Yeah, so they got I think it's a 40,000 litre silo outside, obviously the entrance in here. So we take the hose off the wash connection if you set up a wash, put it on there. But also, like Gary said, on the milk contract this customer's with, they have to have a tank that will take at least 1 milking's worth of milk, so the tank can come during milking. So then we've got the buffer tank set up on this side, so they just connect onto that and they milk into that tank if the trucks come in. And I think the milk buyer pay a premium for that, so it's worth it for them to stick it in.
Yeah, the other thing we have here is the sensors. So again, you can't start the wash without the sensor being connected, but vice versa, you can't milk into the wash line. So this sensor has to be, the pipe has to be taken off to make this sensor work with it. And then in here, and this is becoming more common where people are doing this with their dairies, that they have a separate milk collection point, so the tanker driver obviously can come in from that outside door, and then in here is more of a alleyway or slash a washroom that it's easy to keep clean. There's not a lot of there's not a massive amount of floor space to keep clean as well. And then you have the big heavy drains here, big wide drains. So again, we have our control panel to start the rotary, and then we have a big milk sock, 4-inch milk sock, and then the plate cooler for pre-cooling. I think, does that have chilled water as well, George?
Yeah, chilled water and borehole water.
Okay.
Yeah, variable speed on the milk pump obviously, so we're going to try and pump the milk through the plate cooler as slow as we can to get as much efficiency out of the water before the tank has to cool it down.
Yeah, and they've went for an ice builder rather than glycol?
Yes.
And what was there a reason for that?
Sorry, I won't keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they're used to an ice builder system, but also they can make use of renewables. If they've got solar panels or wind turbine, they can make use of that and build that ice during the day, so they don't have to have all the energy consumption all at once during milking.
It's becoming quite common now to be doing it that way. Then obviously our wash fat there, so again, forget taking the water for the washing. In here then we have the airbag controller for the airbags for the drive, and then we have then the main control panel. So said one of the nice things about our control panel is it has feedback on every sensor, and that's how we commissioned this afternoon, starting the rotary.
It's really beneficial for a farm point of view and for an installation point of view. Any issues and anything, so we pressed the e-stop earlier on, so that red light's come on, so we know now that there's an emergency stop needs pulling out before the deck's going to turn. It saves so much head scratching of what's not working, what's not right. You come to here, green is good, red is bad, simple as that.
Yeah. All the motors have their own thermal overload, so again, if one pops out, you know where it is, and then feeder panel, and then here we have the roller door to let in all your chemicals with it as well. Then we have some water and electrics down here, and then the big water tanks. It's getting dark, but you can see the top of the silo. So that's kind of it.